want to know what I see? I personally see that this Power Rangers brand is trying to save itself from going bankrupt because what Hasbro is going through, and I had no idea that everybody was talking about this. This has been brought to my attention recently, but I'm not going to be that good at reading what Chris Cox had to say for the most part, because all I can do is just give you all the best information the best way I can. So don't judge me, because I'm not that good at reading, but I am trying my hardest to get you guys the information that y'all deserve. So on the Hasbro Q1 2024 earnings call today, CEO Chris Cox commented that the Power Rangers line did not meet their profit margin threshold and chose to outsource it. According to Cox, Power Rangers is probably the last brand that we will outsource. Full transcript below. Fred Wingman of Wolf Research. You talked about the transaction from the Littlest Pet Shop license. You also talked about the deal for Power Rangers. Does the early success that you're seeing with some of these licensing decisions change how you're thinking about the need to own versus license some of these CP brands going forward? Chris Cox: I think it's validating that we made the right choice. 2 years ago, we outlined what our selection criteria will be. Basically, can we generate $50 million in revenue at a 10% OP? And can we grow to $100 million or more revenue at a 15% OP on a line? We're choosing the lines to outsource that we don't think meet those thresholds. But another company with maybe a different cost structure or a different set of expertise can still make a really nice business with, even if it was a sub $50 million. So, I think we're basically done without licensing. We certainly will be driving cross licensing and leveraging our brands for category expansion and new product opportunities, like we're doing with Lego, like we're doing with Metal, like we're doing with location-based entertainment. But I think Power Rangers is probably the last brand that we will outsource. So the thing about the decision that they're making is making me realize that, I kind of get it. Because Hasbro just lost $1 million a couple months ago. That right there was a tip of the iceberg that this company is about to stop making Power Ranger toys. Because even though they're currently on a year-old hiatus, so they'll probably just try to figure out what to do with the brand when they still own Power Rangers as far as like entertainment wise, right? So my thing is with Playmates Toys, because they're known for making like good quality Ninja Turtles figures for years, since the 80s. But I wouldn't be surprised if we get our first look at the Power Rangers brand, especially with Mighty Morphin, because they did confirm that it's going to be for the kiddos that are new to the franchise, and maybe make some adult collector items like inspired by the Lightning collection, but make it more faithful to the source material. But besides Mighty Morphin, what you can do is just make it like for different seasons, different franchises like Zeo, Lightspeed Rescue, Time Force, RPM, Jungle Fury, Dino Charge, Dino Fury, you name it. I think what Playmate Toys might do is they're gonna focus on Mighty Morphin first, but then they're gonna probably just focus on other teams besides Mighty Morphin, which I would have loved for them to do. But given the fact that the public only knows Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, it makes sense because it sells, you know what I'm saying? But what we can do is showcase other Power Rangers brands on Twitter while trending besides Mighty Morphin. You could just show all of them all together, you know what I'm saying? But to me personally, I think they're making the right decision of handing off the toy licensing with Playmates Toys, because, like I said, they're known for making good quality Ninja Turtles figures for almost decades. So, to me, all of this makes sense. And this could also mean that they're gonna probably like make some Power Rangers reboot toys for Netflix, because the reboot might end up coming out in 2026. And not only that, but I personally feel like that whatever announcement we're gonna get at whatever announcements that we're gonna probably get at San Diego Comic-Con or even Las Vegas Expo, it's gonna be something controversial, but it might be something that the fans can get behind. So for me, like I said, all I can do is just be neutral and just wait and see how they do. You know what I'm saying? So for me, all I can do is just give them a chance to see what they can do, because more and more information are coming out this week, and some are taking it as if it's the end of the Power Rangers as they know it. I'm like, first of all, it's not the end of the brand. The same way it's not the end of the Boom Studio Comics when they're making Power Ranger comics, which is way better than the TV show in my honest opinion, because those characters in those comics alone were handled better, were utilized better than what they did in their original show. So even though this is the final issue of Mighty Morphin Power Rangers The Darkest Hour, what they can do is jump ship to other seasons to focus on, to reboot, but in the comics way, by utilizing the characters better. The same way the Hasbro can do with Playmates Toys while they're doing the Power Rangers brand by revamping it, reinvent them, and rebooting them. So if you do that, I think chances are this franchise is going to be safe. It's not the end. It's not gonna die, so all of y'all can just stop with the panicking and y'all act like y'all made Power Rangers, like you created this franchise. Like, y'all truly don't know the business deal behind the scenes. Like, even though Hasbro lost like a $500,000 this year, it's not looking good for them so far. But I like what they did by handling and passing the toy license to Playmates Toys. So that way they can continue on with the toys and make a new line out of it and make a new collection name out of it by adding more details, more articulations. When it comes to the face sculptures, the only thing they can do is just make sure that it looks like the actors, not someone that looks nothing like them, like how they used to do in the VHS box art days though. I think you get what I'm talking about. So at the end of the day, I think what Chris Cox just said, that, you know, even though that they did some good with the brand, but a lot of times they've done some horrible jobs with the brand of not keeping up what the fans wanted to see. And my third part about this and why I believe they went with Playmates Toys is because the fans, sometimes they have the right to complain about not liking certain things that happen with the toys, but it's another thing to harshly criticize these people, because if you do that, they're not going to want to get better. So to me, I'll look at it in a different way. These business decisions, I see nothing wrong with it. Only thing I can do is just wait and see how it plays out next year. Because with the Power Rangers reboot coming out soon, the Karate Kid is being worked on by Jonathan Entwistle, and it's going to be coming out this December. So if the business does get successful, then they're going to probably focus on the Power Rangers reboot, casting of the Rangers, the graphic designer of the Zords, the VFX on the CGI, and you have Brian Edward Hill and Jenny Clean and Jonathan Entwistle to count on. And I think what they also need is a fight coordinator to work on the stunts, the fight scenes, leveling up the violence, and being more edgy. And they did confirm that it's going to be TV-14, so it kind of makes sense for the Jonathan and Twister reboot to go on Netflix, because a lot of us have been wanting change for years. So that could also play a huge factor of why Hasbro sold the licensing rights to Playmates Toys to make the Power Ranger figures, starting with Mighty Morphin, because like I said, y'all gotta understand that Mighty Morphin sells because it's what the people recognize, it's what the public recognize for years. So if you call yourselves try to get rid of Mighty Morphin Power Rangers to focus exclusively on the brand new team, a brand new Rangers that are inspired by Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, by shoving it, by shoving it down their throats, then it's gonna make people in Hollywood or people from Netflix, Jonathan and Twister and them, think that you tried, but you don't know what you're talking about. You don't know what you're doing. So the point I'm trying to make here is that even if it's not going to be based on Mighty Morphin, what you can do is just be inspired by Mighty Morphin with the same dinosaurs, but replacing the Mastodon and the saber-tooth tiger. Those are not dinosaurs. Those are just ancient creatures. So at the end of the day, I understand what they did because business is business. So and nothing we can do. So what y'all thoughts on this? Let me know in the comments down below.